There is something your dog may be trying to tell you right now. Not with barking, not with whining, not with any of the obvious signals we have learned to recognize over years of living together. Something quieter than that. Something most owners walk right past every single day without ever realizing what they are seeing. And the painful truth is this. By the time most people understand what their dog was trying to say, it is already too late to say anything back. This video is not an easy one, but it is one of the most important ones you will ever watch as a dog owner. Because the signs we are about to talk about are real. They are documented, and they are happening in homes every single day while the people who love those dogs have no idea what they are witnessing. If your dog is older, if they have been slowing down, if something feels different even if you cannot put your finger on what, stay with this until the end. Because what you are about to learn may be the most important thing you ever understood about your dog. 1. They start following you everywhere, even when they never used to. You probably know the dog that follows their owner from room to room. Some dogs do that their whole lives. But this is different. This is a dog who is independent, who had their favorite spot, who was comfortable being in another room while you were in another part of the house. And now, suddenly, they will not leave your side. They follow you to the kitchen. They follow you to the bathroom. They position themselves so that you are always in their line of sight. And when you sit down, they do not just settle nearby. They press themselves against you with a closeness and a heaviness that feels different from affection. It feels like something else entirely. What is happening is this. As a dog's body begins to fail them, their world gets smaller. The things they could once rely on, their strength, their senses, their ability to navigate their environment confidently, begin to fade. And when everything else becomes uncertain, you become the one fixed point. The one thing that still feels completely safe and completely known. This sudden closeness is not clinginess. It is not a behavior problem. It is your dog telling you, in the only language available to them, that they need you near. That you are their comfort in a world that is becoming increasingly frightening and unfamiliar. That wherever you are is the only place they still feel completely okay. Do not pull away from this. Do not find it inconvenient. If your older dog is suddenly your shadow, let them be. Because what they are asking for in those moments is so simple and so profound. They just want to be near you while they still can. 2. They stop eating, but they still come to find you at mealtimes. A dog going off their food is one of the most commonly recognized signs that something is medically wrong. Most owners know this. But there is a layer to this behavior that almost nobody talks about, and it is the part that matters most. Watch what your dog does at mealtimes, even when they are not eating. Do they still come to the kitchen? Do they still position themselves near you while you prepare food or eat your own meals? A dog who is near the end of their life will often lose all interest in food itself, but maintain the ritual of being present during mealtimes because the mealtime was never really about the food for them. It was about being with you. They show up at the kitchen not because they are hungry. They show up because that is what they have always done. Because those moments in the kitchen with you are woven into the fabric of who they are and how they have always loved you. And they are still trying to do it, even now, even when their body is making everything harder. Researchers who study end-of-life behavior in dogs note that the maintenance of social rituals long after the physical motivation for them has disappeared is one of the clearest indicators of deep emotional bonding. Your dog is not confused when they come to the kitchen without eating. They are loyal. They are present. They are still choosing you even when everything else is falling away. 3. Their eyes change. This one is difficult to describe and almost impossible to miss once you know what you are looking for. There comes a point in a dog's decline where something shifts behind their eyes. The alertness that was always there, that bright, watchful quality that made them seem like they were constantly ready for whatever came next, begins to soften into something else. It is not vacancy. It is not absence. It is something closer to a deep and quiet settling. Like a person who has lived a full life and reached a point of genuine peace with where they are. Veterinarians and animal hospice workers describe it consistently. A softening, a depth, an expression that is harder to read as a specific emotion and easier to read simply as presence. Pure, undistracted presence. Your dog's eyes in those final weeks and days are not empty. They are full of every walk you ever took together. Every morning, they heard you wake up. Every night, they felt you settle. Every moment they spent watching you from across a room simply because watching you was one of their greatest pleasures in life. When you see that change in your dog's eyes, do not look away from it. Look back. Hold it. Because they are still in there. Fully. And they are still looking at you. And if this is already hitting close to home, if you are watching this because something feels different about your dog right now, go ahead and subscribe. Every video on this channel is built around what science and research actually tell us about our dogs. What comes next is something most owners only understand in hindsight, and you deserve to understand it now. 4. They seek out places and people they have not sought in years. Dogs are creatures of deep habit and deep memory. They build their world around familiarity. Their spot on the couch, their route on the morning walk, the particular corner of the yard they have always loved. These patterns become so consistent that when they change, we barely notice because the change happens slowly and quietly. But there is a specific change that animal behaviorists and veterinary professionals have documented repeatedly in dogs approaching the end of their lives. They begin revisiting old beds they abandoned years ago, rooms they stopped spending time in. Sometimes they seek out people they have not shown particular interest in for a long time. A family member who moved out, a person who used to visit often. Nobody fully understands why this happens. The most considered explanation among researchers is that it involves memory and emotional processing in ways we have not yet fully mapped in the canine brain. What we do know is that it happens consistently enough to be recognized as a pattern. Your dog moving through the house differently, spending time in places that feel like they carry some meaning you cannot quite access, showing up beside people with a quiet deliberateness that feels intentional. If your dog is doing this, pay attention to where they go. Sit with them in those places, because wherever they are choosing to be in those moments, they are choosing it for a reason. And being there with them, without rushing them away or redirecting them, is one of the most profound gifts you can offer. 5. They become unusually peaceful. One of the most counterintuitive signs, and the one most owners misread as a positive development, is a sudden and unusual calm in a dog who has been struggling. Pain, confusion, and physical decline in dogs often manifests as restlessness, difficulty settling, interrupted sleep, anxious pacing, and then sometimes, in the final stretch, that restlessness simply stops. The dog who could not find a comfortable position suddenly sleeps deeply. The dog who had been panting and unsettled becomes still. The dog who had been anxious and reactive becomes gentle and quiet in a way that almost feels like they have arrived somewhere. Owners often interpret this as improvement, as a turn for the better, and it is one of the cruelest misreads because in many cases what it actually represents is the body reaching a point of profound physiological shift. The nervous system quieting, the struggle easing not because the situation has improved, but because the dog has moved into a different stage entirely. If your dog has been declining and suddenly seems unusually peaceful, do not assume they are getting better without speaking to your vet. Hold that peace gently. Be present in it with them. Because if it is what it sometimes is, that peace is a gift they are giving themselves and you. A final settling, a last exhale of effort, and it deserves to be witnessed with the same love and attention they have given you every day of their life. 6. They try to tell you something with their eyes that they have no words for. There will come a moment, and if you have ever loved a dog through to the end, you will know exactly what this means, where your dog looks at you, and the look is different from every look that came before it. It is direct in a way that feels almost unbearable. It is calm, it is clear, and it carries something in it that lands somewhere beneath language. Animal behaviorists describe this as one of the most consistently reported experiences among owners of dogs in their final days. A look that feels like communication of the most essential kind, not a request for food or a walk or play, something far more fundamental than any of those things. What your dog is doing in that moment, to the best of what science and behavioral research can tell us, is exactly what it feels like they are doing. They are connecting, directly and completely, using the one channel of communication that has been between your two species since the very beginning. Eye contact, the look that triggers oxytocin in both of you simultaneously. The look that has been building and deepening your bond every single day they have been alive. They are looking at you because you are the most important thing in their world. They have always known that. And in those final days, they are making sure, in every way available to them, that you know it too. Do not look away from that look. Give it back to them completely. Because what is passing between you in those moments is real, and it is rare, and it is one of the most extraordinary things that exists between any two living creatures on this earth. 7. They find their place and they stay. At some point near the very end, a dog will choose a spot. It might be their bed. It might be a patch of sunlight on the floor. It might be pressed against you on the couch or lying at your feet in the kitchen. And they will stop moving from it the way they used to. They will settle into it with a finality that is different from ordinary rest. This is the body conserving what little energy remains. But it is also something else. Dogs in their final days tend to choose their resting place with a deliberateness that feels anything but random. They choose warmth. They choose familiarity. And most consistently, they choose proximity to the person they love most. If your dog has found their place and is staying in it, go to them. Sit on the floor beside them if you have to. Let them feel your warmth and smell your scent and hear your voice. Because in that spot, in those final quiet hours, what your dog needs more than anything medicine can offer is exactly what they have always needed from the very beginning. They need you there. That is all they have ever needed. And giving it to them now, fully and without distraction, is the last and most important act of love available to you. Most owners miss these signs not because they do not love their dogs. They miss them because nobody ever told them what to look for. Because we do not talk about this enough. Because it is hard and it hurts, and it is easier to assume that everything is fine until it suddenly and irreversibly is not. But you watch this. You stayed until the end. And that means that if your dog is trying to say goodbye, you will hear it. You will be present for it. And they will not have to say it alone. If this video moved you, share it with every dog owner you know. Because every dog deserves an owner who understands. And every owner deserves the chance to be there, completely and fully, for the dog who spent their entire life being there for them. Subscribe, and go spend some time with your dog today. Right now, whatever you were about to do next, it can wait.